的也有业我了，跪你他妈！
你算了，
那我跟你跪了，我们不在一起可以吗？
可以。
啊？
可以。人了。
我他妈的跟你跪啊！
你没跪过吗？
It was still dark when, on a stretch of highway, a white BMW was spotted stopped right in the middle of the road, completely blocking traffic. Drivers honked impatiently, unaware that inside that luxury car, a scandal worthy of a soap opera was about to explode. Highway patrol was urgently called. When they arrived, they found a couple in the middle of the road in complete emotional meltdown. "I'll kneel for you, damn it," the man shouted, full of rage and desperation, waving his arms in the middle of the lane. "You've never knelt before? Now's your chance," the woman snapped back, heated, as if she wanted to humiliate him in front of the whole world. After talking to the couple, the officers realized the cause of the chaos wasn't an accident, theft, or car trouble. It was a simple lipstick. Yes, it all started because the man refused to buy the expensive lipstick his girlfriend wanted, and that was the spark that ignited a fight that nearly turned into a tragedy. Wearing white, she looked like a bride about to get married, or maybe a runaway bride in the middle of a breakdown. He, dressed in black, looked more like a man mourning the death of his own dignity. "Get on your knees now. Admit you were wrong. Say it out loud in front of everyone," she demanded, shoving him in anger. Traffic was heavy, trucks were braking hard, and the couple stood there arguing like they were in their living room. The police tried, unsuccessfully, to convince them to get off the road. Wanting to end the drama once and for all, the man took a deep breath and said, "Fine, I'll kneel. But after this, we're done, for good." That was the last straw. "Break up? After everything I've done for you?" she screamed, shocked. But he stood firm. "Yes, this has gone way too far." She stepped forward, laughing with sarcasm. "So you knelt. Does that mean we can break up now?" she asked with an acidic tone. "Yes, we can, no problem," he replied coldly. "Do you hear yourself? That's insane," she shouted, tears now rolling down her face. "Let's do it. Let's end this. Because all you ever wanted was to see me kneel. That's what it's all about for you, Control." "Exactly," she answered, without hesitation. A passing driver's dashcam caught everything. The woman, crying and screaming, no longer looked like someone fighting for love. She looked like someone fighting for control, for dominance. And when he finally knelt in front of everyone, she didn't show relief. On the contrary, she looked even more furious. "How much have I spent on you, huh? And how much have you spent on me? Has it even gone over 2,000 reais?" she yelled, trembling with rage. People began to wonder, is she charging him for love? With every word, it became more clear what she wanted. Not a partner, but a servant. Someone who pays, obeys, kneels. The guy, already pushed to his limit, snapped, "It's over. It's done. This doesn't make sense anymore. I'm not your project of an ideal man." But she didn't back down. In a total loss of control, she began arguing with the officers. "You want me to accompany someone? For life? Give me a break," she shouted, trying to unlock the car door. "You drive my car, I'll drive yours, all right? Get out of my way." "You're not in a condition to drive," one officer warned. "Do you know how much I've spent on him? Over 2,000 reais. You think that means nothing?" she shouted, using numbers to justify her fury. The situation escalated. She cried, trembled, screamed, and still insisted on getting behind the wheel. That's when the man, humiliated but composed, decided to act with maturity. "I'll drive the car to the service station. You take a breath. We part in peace." She, calmer now, finally agreed. But it was too late. He had said his final goodbye. Definitely. The police then placed the man in the patrol car. Another officer drove the BMW. They were taken separately to the nearest service station. End of scene. End of relationship. Of course, in the end, we always go back to the same scene. She yells, she demands, she wants control. Then she cries, plays the victim, and says she just wanted attention. And then comes the famous cycle. She explodes, he swallows it all, and in the end, he's the one kneeling. But hold on, I'm not saying every woman is like this. The world is way too big for that kind of cheap generalization. There are all kinds of people everywhere. But, as the saying goes, it's not every woman, but it's always a woman. And when you look at this scene, a BMW parked in the middle of the highway, people honking, trying to get by, children in the back seats, and all of this because the guy didn't want to buy a lipstick. You realize just how far some relationships have strayed from reality. It turned into a show of pain and pride, with a forced audience and very real risk of death. Because if this had happened at a restaurant, or at home, or in a park, it would already be insane. But on a highway, with cars speeding by at over 100 kilometers per hour? That's not a couple's argument anymore. That's an ego performance in the most dangerous place possible. And the saddest part is, this kind of behavior is becoming trendy. Some people think it's cool to film it, post it, humiliate the other as if it proves strength. As if being right matters more than having peace. As if yelling is more romantic than talking. But that's not love. It's not love when you need someone to kneel for you to feel valued. It's not affection when you throw your spending in their face like it's a bill. And it's not a relationship when it becomes a power struggle who commands, who obeys, who gives in first, who screams louder, who makes the other cry harder. And this isn't new. We've seen this pattern in so many videos. The guy who pays for everything but is still treated like trash. The woman who demands the world but can't handle a no. The relationship that feels more like psychological warfare than an actual partnership. And when the man finally says enough, when he stops trying to please, when he realizes he's losing himself, that's when she cries, says she regrets it, says she never wanted it to get this far. But by then, it's too late. The damage is done, the admiration is gone, the patience has vanished, and there's no turning back. And here's what's most curious. Nobody starts a relationship like this. Nobody starts by begging for forgiveness on their knees in the middle of the street. It happens little by little, in the small tests, in the manipulations disguised as love, in the demands dressed up as care. And then one day you look around and realize you're in a relationship where asking for a lipstick becomes reason enough to block traffic and threaten to end it all. And I know some people will say, oh, but he was wrong too. And yeah, probably. Every relationship has two sides. Nobody's perfect, but some things go beyond mistakes. Some things are straight up red flags. If you're in a relationship where you have to humiliate yourself to keep it, where you have to submit just to be loved, then that's not a relationship, that's a prison. And what's worse is that a lot of people watch a video like this and laugh. Or say, he deserved it, or he needs to learn how to deal with women, or even, she's just intense, that's how she shows she cares. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is a completely unbalanced relationship where one has to destroy themselves so the other can feel whole. And that's not healthy. That's not passionate. That's toxic and dangerous. And don't even try to say it's just a rare case, because the number of people who saw themselves in this story is insane. So many comments saying, I've been there. I knelt too. I was the one who screamed and demanded. I was the one who stayed quiet out of shame. And all of this just shows that we still haven't learned how to love in a healthy way. We've learned to measure who loves more, who sacrifices more, who suffers more, who has control. And in the end, everyone is emotionally drained, needy, frustrated, and thinking this is normal. But it's not. It can't be normal to stop traffic because your ego was hurt. It can't be normal to demand someone kneel to prove they love you. It can't be normal to measure someone's worth by the gifts they gave or didn't give. Love isn't about kneeling, it's about walking together. And if you need to destroy someone else to feel loved, maybe you don't even know what real love is. So now, I want to know, what do you think about all of this? What would you do if you were in his place, or in hers? Do you think this kind of behavior has any excuse? Do you think the fault was his, hers, or both? Have you ever lived something like this? Have you ever humiliated yourself, or made someone else do it in the name of love? Tell us in the comments, because stories like this are more common than they seem. And sometimes, all we need is to realize we're not alone in this. If you like the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more real, intense, dramatic stories full of reflection, just like this one. See you in the next video.